I hit it.
Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Who you got, Stu?
Finn Balor. I mean, I know they're doing this whole Baron Corbin thing of like everyone's feeling bad for him. Me personally, I feel like this is going to a babyface turn for him. So I think they're just going to continue shitting on him as much as possible until something big happens with him. Plus, Balor being on this whole thing of like I was screwed out of the Universal Championship and all that. He just needs to come out there and just beat the shit out of Corbin, in my personal opinion. That way, you put sympathy heat on Corbin, but also you're like, oh shit, Balor's got a fire under his ass kind of shit. You know what I mean?
I think, you do now have the Big E element since Baron Corbin stole his briefcase, apparently. Although I don't think
I'm gonna be so pissed if he cashes that in.
I don't think that's actually gonna play into this match. I think what will happen. He stole Big E's briefcase.
Who won Money in the Bank? I have no idea.
Big E won it.
Big E won, but he stole Baron Corbin?
Baron Corbin stole his briefcase.
He stole his briefcase.
I don't think that's going to factor into this match. I think they might continue with the Baron Corbin thing. I have really, for the longest time, never given fuck number one about Baron Corbin one way or the other.
I didn't fuck number one.
I have not liked him as a heel or liked him as a face or cared.
I gotta say, I do have to say though, like, because I agree with you, but with one exception. When he came into NXT and his whole character of all of these guys worked 10 years to get here and I got a phone call. Like that shit, they should have brought to the main roster.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing because, like, when he was the lone wolf straight up on NXT and he came out, first couple matches, he hit that move for the first time, you like,
fair.
What a maneuver.
Facts. That shit, the first time I saw the End of Days, like because he had like the jobber entrance in that show. And so to wrestling fans, you're like, oh, he's going to get beat. Then he throws the fucking End of Days on somebody. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Bro, that match lasted 45 seconds. And that's even that long, to be honest. And I was like, oh, this dude's a monster. I was like, this is about to be lit. And then as the weeks went by for a while at NXT, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's legit. He's legit. So, like, I loved Baron then. And then as soon as they brought him up to the main roster, I was like, kind of iffy the way they were using him. And then they just started pushing him crazy. Like, they pushed him way too crazy. Yeah. And then they tear off and turn him into, like, that, what's the Olive Garden waiter? He was the Olive Garden waiter.
He was the GM, right?
Constable Corbin.
Mr. Corbin, or whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
General Manager Corbin.
I hated it, but not that good hate.
It felt like such an energy sapper.
Yeah, it wasn't
like it zapped all the energy from everything.
Yeah, it was not heel heat. It was like, why is he on the show heat? Like, just get him out of here.
Facts.
Exactly.
Big fucking facts.
That's the Corbin I'm most familiar with.
Me too. And that's what they presented to us. Did you give your prediction?
Probably Finn Balor. Maybe.
I'm on Finn too.
You know, they might give it to Baron, but probably Finn Balor.
I think everything you said is accurate. I would definitely say Finn, especially with him coming back to the main roster and then kind of playing him since he's been back. I think it wouldn't have made much sense for him to get pulled up that way again to be used the exact same way they did him the first time. So I'm pretty sure they're going to push him in this particular run. So.
Now, the smart thing to do would be to give him this win and more big wins so he can be a nice little stopgap for whoever the champion is leading up to Royal Rumble or Mania. But that's the smart thing. WWE doesn't always do that.
I had the thought that I would have Balor end up facing Roman at the Royal Rumble for the title, but lose to Roman. Because then you start building that whole thing of every time he gets a big match at the Rumble, he loses. That way next year you put him in the Rumble and he wins it. It becomes a bigger deal.
Listen, pal, that's long-term.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That
sounds like long-term booking, pal, and we're not. Booking is for
we don't do that, pal.
We're an entertainment company.
That's fair.
We make movies.
How did we even get here? Because I swear I don't recognize shit here.